Welcome back, dear students. This is the second video on network theory. In previous video I have discussed some of the fundamental terminologies used in network theory. Even at the end of last video I have discussed Ohm's law. Whereas in this video I am going to discuss two very important laws which are oftenly used in network theory. The first one is Kirchhoff's voltage law, in short KVL, and the second one is Kirchhoff's current law, in short KCL. Let's start the discussion. Kirchhoff's voltage law. As per the statement, the algebraic sum of potentials around the closed path or loop is equal to 0. That is nothing but sigma V is equal to 0. Or in other words, sum of voltage sources around a closed path is equal to sum of voltage drops around the same path. So that's nothing but if at all there is a closed path or loop, if we add all the voltage sources, that sum will be equal to the voltage drop around the same loop. To understand this particular statement and the law properly, let's take one example and discuss. I am going to discuss KVL. Right. So before I discuss, let us assume or consider a very simple network containing some two voltage sources and two resistors. Dear students, you know that if terminal is, this is smaller terminal, this is larger, that means this is negative, this is positive, this is positive, okay, here this is negative, right, and this I call it as R1, this resistor R2, this voltage source V1, this voltage source V2. The KVL has to be applied around the loop. This is a very simple network where I have considered one loop. So we can apply KVL either in a clockwise direction or in an anti-clockwise direction. As of now I am going to apply the KVL in clockwise direction. And let me consider a current through this loop as I. I is a current that will flow in this loop. Now dear students, when we find a sum of voltages, normally this is an algebraic sum. Because of that we should consider some voltages as positive and some voltages as negative. But how to consider? If we are traversing a loop path from a negative to positive, I will assume that it is positive, and if I am traversing a loop from a positive to negative, I will assume that as a negative. Means, so this is the assumption. The assumption that I make is high potential to, if I am traversing from high potential to low potential, high potential to low potential, I will assume high potential to low potential, I will assume negative sign, and if I am traversing a loop from low potential to high potential, I will assume a positive sign. Let's start applying KVL. So this is negative, this is positive. If I am traversing from negative to positive, I will consider positive, that is nothing but V1. So here I will write applying KVL around closed path, or just you can write loop I. This is I, right? So now very important thing here is when I want to traverse the loop like this, the second element that I have come across is R1, but how to find the terminals, means how to find the signs of this terminal, means potential, whether this is at higher potential or this is at higher potential. Dear students, remember one thing, current always flows from high potential to low potential. As I have assumed current in this direction, obviously this must be at higher potential and this must be at lower potential. Because I am traversing the loop from high potential to low potential, I will consider this as a negative, and I require here voltage, the resistance is R, and the current through that is I. So using Ohm's law, the voltage is equal to I into R1. This is I into R1. Next is I am traversing from negative to positive. As usual, negative to positive we have means high potential to low potential to high potential. This is positive sign. That's nothing but plus V2, and so because current is flowing in this direction, it must be at higher potential and it must be at lower potential. Now this is minus I R2 is equal to 0. Dear student, you need not have to place a positive and negative signs like this. For your reference, I have written positive and negative here. But remember, if we are traversing the loop as per the assumption from high potential to low potential, that we have taken negative, from low potential to high potential, that we have taken positive. Now here V1 plus V2 is equal to I into R1 this side plus I into R2. And see, dear students, when a network is given, we will be knowing all voltages which have value of voltage sources and even resistors. Here unknown is current I. So therefore, or so I will write, so I is equal to, so if you take this V1 plus V2 divided by, this is R1 plus R2. Okay, so V1, so because I will be taken common and later what you get is R1 plus R2. So this is the current in the network. Means using KVL we found the current, and later if at all we want, we can find remaining say voltages, like say for example I want to find voltage drop. Say for example I am interested in voltage drop across R1, which I call it as a VR1. Let us consider this is VRN. Across this there is some voltage drop. I want to find what is the voltage drop across resistor R1. So that VR1 is equal to current into resistance. Current is I and resistance is R1, which is equal to, say I is this value now, because I will be knowing the values of V1, V2, R1 and R2. So this is a I, V1 plus V2 divided by R1 plus R2 into R1. Similarly, if at all you want, voltage drop across R2, which I call it as a VR2, will be equal to, so if you apply, this is I into R2, which is equal to V1 plus V2 divided by R1 plus R2, right? And this into R2. Okay, so this is VR1, which is a voltage across R1, and this is VR2, which is a voltage across R2. Okay, so this is ampere current and this is volt, this is volt. Dear student, using KVL we found a unknown value, that is I. Once we find a unknown current, so obviously we can find any other values. Okay, so important here is how to apply KVL. Remember dear students, KVL has to be applied around a closed path or loop, and so we have made one assumption. The assumption is when we traverse a path from high potential to low potential, we consider a negative sign for that voltage, and when we traverse a path from low potential to high potential, we will consider a positive sign. This is just an assumption, even you can take vice versa also, but there will not be any change. One more dear students, you may get a doubt that sir, here you are considering a current in this direction, but actual current might be in here I have considered clockwise direction, but actual current might be in anti-clockwise direction. Then what? Dear student, if the actual current in opposite direction of whatever we are going to assume, then when you solve the equations, you will get the current value as a negative sign. If the current is positive, that means that indicates that the assumed direction and the actual direction both are same. Whereas if we get a negative sign, means a negative value of current, that indicates that actual direction is opposite of the assumed direction. Hope this is clear to you. So when we are going to when we are going to solve many numericals, at that time we are going to discuss all these things. Okay, so with this we'll proceed further to second law, that is Kirchhoff's current law. In case of Kirchhoff's voltage law, that is summation of EMF, means sum of voltage sources around a closed path is equal to sum of voltage drops. That's what you can see, dear students, here. Say here, so this is a sum of voltage sources V1 plus V2. This is a sum of voltage drop. Even depending upon the sign convention, it might be V1 minus V2 V1 is equal to, this is IR drop, nothing but a voltage drop. Okay, so this is a KVL, sum of algebraic sum of voltage sources is equal to algebraic sum of IR drops. Okay, so now switching back to the KCL, as per the statement, the algebraic sum of currents entering and leaving a node is equal to 0. That's nothing but sum of incoming currents minus sum of outgoing currents is equal to 0, or in other words, the sum of currents entering the node is equal to sum of currents leaving that node. That's nothing but sigma incoming currents is equal to sigma outgoing currents, or sigma incoming currents minus sigma outgoing current is equal to 0. Dear students, before we proceed further, let us again take one example and try to understand this particular law. So now we are going to discuss KCL. KCL is Kirchhoff's current law. To discuss this, I am going to consider a simple network. Dear students, before that, what the KCL will be applied to a node. KVL is applied around a loop, whereas KCL is applied to a node. If say for example this is a node in a network where say let us consider 1, 2, 3 3 different branches, or say for example 4 different branches are connected to this node. Let us consider the current direction in this node is this, and here like this, here like this, and here say you assume any direction. Let us consider like this. This is, I assume it as I1, I2, okay, this is I3 and this one is I4. As per KCL, sum of incoming currents, how many currents are incoming? 1, 2. 2 currents are incoming to this node. So might be this node is N1. Okay, so like here applying KCL at a node N1, we get, what we get here is sum of algebraic sum of means sum of incoming currents. So that is I1 plus I4, both are incoming, is equal to sum of outgoing currents. Outgoing currents, the I2 and I3. I2 plus I3. Or dear students, we can write this as I1 plus I4 minus I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. Okay, sum algebraic sum of currents entering and leaving a node is equal to 0, but the currents entering node will be taken as positive and current leaving the node is taken as negative. Very important thing you should remember, dear student, KVL is applied around the loop, whereas KCL is applied at a node. To discuss further, let me consider a simple network. Say for example, a network with some 3 resistors I will consider. Right? So this is R1, this is R2 and this one is R3, and I will consider 2 current sources, one here and one more here. Okay, so let me assume the current direction like this and here like this, I2. Right, so now how many nodes are there in this network? Dear student, there are 4 nodes. First one is this, let me name it as N1, and here N2, this one is N3, and this is last node which is N4. As I told, the KCL is applied at a node. Let's applying KCL at node N1, we get what we get. Look at this, incoming current, how many currents? Okay, before that, dear students, we don't know how the current will flow in means direction of current we don't know in branch R2, even branch R1, even in branch R3. Right? And one more thing, dear students, here N4 and N3, these are not 2 nodes, it is only one node because this is not a branch. So what is the definition of branch? Branch is, say it is branch is a portion of a network between 2 adjacent nodes which at least should contain one network element, but there is no network element here. Because of that, there are only 3 branches. If at all, say I want to make 4 branches, so let me assume one more resistor here, and that I call it as a R4. Okay, so make a point of this, dear students, there are only 3 branches. If this resistor was not there, there used to be only 3 branches. Okay, so now there are 4 branches. Now applying KCL at node N1, what I was telling is, we don't know the currents in these branches, direction of currents. I will assume some arbitrary current direction. Let us consider here, this is the current direction which I call it as a, say for example, some current, I call it as IR2, and you can assume any direction because we don't know. This is IR1 and this is IR4, and let me assume this current direction like this, which is IR3, right? Now at node N1, how many currents are incoming? Only one current is incoming and two currents are outgoing. Directly I will write minus IR1 minus IR2 is equal to 0. Otherwise you can write it as I1 is equal to IR1 plus IR2. This I call it as some say equation number 1. And now the second one is applying KCL at node N2. Okay, so this is N2. How many currents are incoming? Only one current is incoming, two currents are outgoing. So obviously IR2 minus IR3 because outgoing and minus I2 it's also outgoing is equal to 0. This is equation number 2. And I am going to applying KCL at a node. The next node is N3. What we get? So this is N3. One current is incoming, two current is incoming, three current. All three currents are incoming here. That means say I2 plus IR3 plus IR4 all equal to 0. This is equation number 3. And lastly, applying KCL at a node N4, what we get? One current is incoming and two currents are outgoing. Only IR1 is incoming minus I1 minus IR4 is equal to 0. Call this as equation 4. Dear students, here when the network is given, we will be knowing the values of current sources or voltage sources if present, and even resistor values will be given. Here in this case, the unknown values are branch currents and branch voltages. That is what the analysis is. If at all we want to analyze a given network, we should find branch currents and branch voltages. And here IR1, IR2 and even say IR3, IR4 are unknown. Right? So for that purpose we have found say totally 4 equations. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 unknowns, 4 equations. Simultaneously we can solve all the equations so as to get the values of unknown currents. That can be done. My intention is not to solve this network but to make you familiar with the KCL. So very important thing, dear students, the sum of incoming current is equal to sum of outgoing current. So what I have assumed here is the incoming current I have assumed it as positive and outgoing current sign I have assumed as negative. Even you can assume vice versa also. Okay, so it indicates that we say when all currents whatever the currents node will going to get, those currents will be taken out from that node. The node will not store any current. Okay, nothing but it will not store any charges. This is KCL. I hope say you understood KVL and KCL both properly. If you come across any doubts, you can ask me. With this, I'll stop today and continue in next video. Thank you for watching.